Good evening and welcome to the Tottenham Hotspur versus Wolverhampton Wanderers preview. I know you'll all be probably expecting Sam Spurs for life, but unfortunately he's unavailable tonight. He might pop on later on. However, you've got me tonight, and with myself, I have got the rest of the three Musketeers. Let me introduce you to Darius 3K and Sean Hurl in the house. Good evening, boys. How are we?
Doing good, man. Doing good. As much as people may be a bit disappointed from last week, I'm still over the moon about last week. So I'm as happy as you can be for a Spurs fan. So I hope you guys are doing good inside your Spurs lives and outside your Spurs lives as well.
Yeah, it's how can you be disappointed? You know, we're 4 points up on last season, so you know, and we're in the top four still, roughly. Yeah, so it's good. Yeah, all good.
Do you know what? I think a lot of people have gone into meltdown, aren't they? Because, we've got a point. It's not good enough with the players we've bought, the transfer window we've had. We should have beaten them. They were vulnerable, blah, blah, blah. We're still bottlers. I don't think we bottled it. The fact is, we went down twice and we come back twice. We didn't play too well. Past seasons, not playing too well, we get absolutely battered. We get hammered and we come home with our pants hanging down. We hung in. Yeah, and the best thing you can do in a football match, score in the last couple of minutes of a game to kill the oppositions off. And that's what we've done. We come back with 2-2. We scored 2 goals, which we haven't done there for the last 6 or 7 games. You know, last season we played them 4 times. We didn't score any. We scored twice and we came back with a point. And like you said, Darius, I was quite happy with that. In the end, you know what? I want it to go on a little bit longer. We probably could have won the game, but...
And can I just say, Sid, I got that whole scoreline correct, including the Man City one and the Leeds one as well. Just want to remind people, if you want to get your bets on this weekend, look out for my tweet for predictions, because I'm on a roll. I'm on a roll.
Super 6, mate. Do your Super 6 on Saturday, innit? Sky Sports.
I definitely should do, but then again, I'll end up getting 0 predictions then. So I'm going to stick to where the stakes have nothing there, and I'll probably keep on doing well.
Well done. Right, before we move on, for everyone that's joined us, whether you're listening to us, whether you're watching us on YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, please smash that like button and follow us. Ring that bell and just keep smashing it away. Pass it on to your friends. Pass it on to everyone. Just keep smashing that like button and follow us. And like we've always said, there's plenty of content available and we will come and get you. Like I said to you, Sam's not available to come on. He may come on later on. However, he is in the comment section, and like he said, smash a like for the stream. Thank you very much, and hopefully we'll see you on here soon. So, Wolverhampton Wanderers at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium on Saturday. Just before we go into all the stats and everything, just a quick one. Morgan Gibbs-White is going to Nottingham Forest for 40 million plus add-ons, right? I'm quite shocked at that because they've just bought one of the best highly rated youngsters in Matheus Nunes. I've heard so much about him. Liverpool were after him as well. And you're the international European man, Darius. How good of a player is this Nunes?
You know what? I'm not 100% sure that I actually have seen Nunes play even at all. So I'm quite fresh on Nunes.
Yeah.
I've not watched him at all, to be fair with you. So I'm actually just as fresh as you, to be fair with you. But on the Morgan Gibbs-White, my gosh, I mean, I think originally they'll be paying 25 million, and it will be like sort of easy add-ons and stuff like that rises to 44 million. But if they end up paying 44 million for Morgan Gibbs-White, then don't really know what to say about that. But Matheus Nunes, I'm seeming like it's only positive things about him. So many people will say that he's a great player, and also, to be fair with you, apparently Liverpool may even still go for him like a year on from now, maybe even a year and a half on from now. So he seems like he really wanted Liverpool, but he's not going to.
Darius, you're having serious mic issues. You're proper breaking up, so I don't know if you want to restart your mic again. But you're quite breaking up, so we're catching every other word you're saying, and it's crackling quite a lot.
Okay.
Oh, that sounded better. Sean,
is it any better? I don't know if it's any better now.
That's better. That's a lot better now. That's a lot.
Okay. All I was saying was Yeah, no, just I've only heard good things about Nunez, and the fact that Liverpool may go in for him after a year just shows you that their interest is still there. And I don't think Liverpool really have the money to pay for him right now. So that's it. That's probably the only reason why he's not gone there.
Cool. Sean, you got any thoughts on that one? I'm assuming.
It's a really curious market. I mean, I must admit, when I first saw Gibbs White, and I was at Molyneux when he made his debut, he played against us. He did look like a baller. But then, last season, was he not on loan at Sheffield United or something? He certainly wasn't in the Wolves team. And you thought, oh, has he fallen from grace? But then they're now selling him for that amount. I mean, Nottingham Forest, I don't know what's going on there. That's
16 signings. That's the 16th signing of the season, of the summer for them. 16.
So basically, all the players that got them up have just been told thank you, but no thank you.
Yeah, I think if I'm right,
pretty much.
There was 3 players on Saturday that played for him on Sunday against Nottingham, West Ham United. There was only 3 players that got on promotion from last season that actually started the game, which I think is ridiculous. I think, you know what, you got to stick with the team that's brought you up, but that's a conversation that we can have another day.
The only thing I'll say about that is, and I had the exact same thought as you said, but then somebody kind of mentioned to me, a Forest fan, obviously, because I am surrounded by them. He was sort of saying we weren't expected to go up this season. We weren't even expected to get promoted. I mean, when Steve Cooper took over, they were like 17th, 18th.
Yeah.
So they've overachieved, and it's not really like a Norwich or Fulham where they've gone down, gone up. So they've had to then sort of bolster a championship squad into a completely new Premier League squad, because I don't think any of those players really were Premier League level, and if they had kept them just for sentiment, they might have ended up going down. However, the same could happen, because 16 players to gel. I mean, 5 of those new signings, you kind of have to tell them that they might not get barely any game time. So I don't know how they're going to do it, but it's either going to go amazing or it's going to go horrible. That's my opinion on it.
100%. So moving on to Saturday at 12:30, Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. Wolverhampton Wanderers will be the visitors. We'll go into who might be available, who might not be available towards the end. But let's start off with a few of the stats. So, Tottenham v Wolves preview. Let's have a look at the current league table. I mean, we're only 2 games into the season, and we are 4th at the moment, and they are 14th. That doesn't mean anything to me, to be fair. I mean, we're only playing 2 games, and they normally say don't look at the table till just before Christmas. So I know what you're thinking, Darius, and we'll look into that as well in terms of form and stuff like that. I'm sure you're thinking the same as well, Sean. But as it stands, we are 4th in the league. Right, here we go. Let's have a look at the fixtures for this weekend. So obviously we've got Spurs v Wolves, Crystal Palace Aston Villa, Everton Nottingham Forest, Fulham Brentford, Leicester City Southampton, Bournemouth Arsenal, Leeds Chelsea, West Ham Brighton, Newcastle Man City, and Man United Liverpool. Sean, stating the obvious, which is the most important game for you, or which is the game that you're looking forward to apart from our game this weekend?
I have to say I'm probably looking forward to the Monday night game, because Manchester United are in the mud. They are in the mud. And I mean, if they were to lose their 3rd game, it would be, I think, their worst start in 100 years or something like that. It's unbelievable. So really, that's the game I'm kind of looking forward to. Following. I don't really watch other teams generally. I mean, I catch the match of the day sort of thing, but I don't really watch other games live. I mean, you could probably have a good guess at who's going to win these games, but there's Everton are in trouble, so they've got Forest coming to them. Arsenal are obviously bouncing, and they could be expecting to win at Bournemouth, but you never know with Scotty Parker. And then obviously Manchester City and Newcastle, that'll be a great game on Sunday, I would think, as well. Particularly as it's at St James's. So once our game is over, I won't say that I won't know the scores, but I'm not going to, I'm away for the weekend, so trying to get into some fresh air. So I'm not really concerned. We'll see the table on Monday night after the Man U game. That'll be interesting.
Darius?
Oh, at first glance, you kind of look at the week and you think it's a pretty boring weekend.
Yeah.
But then you look back again and you see Monday sort of creeping at the bottom there. That's going to be amazing, because as much as you say, Sean, if United lose their third in a row, it's going to be awful. If they win, they go above Liverpool in the league.
Exactly.
So, I mean, there's still a lot to play for in that. I think you're so right about the Newcastle City game. The West Ham Brighton game as well is seems like quite a bit of a chess match, sort of similar to maybe how the Spurs Chelsea game went. And then the only other game I really am a bit excited to see is potentially, I want to see if Leeds are good as I think they are going to be, and potentially if Arsenal are going to do what I think they're going to do and smash Bournemouth 4-0. So I'm not really looking forward to many games. I'll watch as many as I can, but I think Sean's right. I think this weekend, the fact that we're first and we can get it out the way, if we can get a win, I won't really care what happens to the other teams, because it's still too early. I mean, it's not really that many points between anybody at the moment. So yeah, as I'm happy with the first game on this weekend. We can get it out the way, then we can sit back and watch all the other teams struggle and hopefully miss out on some points.
Fair enough. Like I'm looking forward to the Man United Liverpool game, like you said, purely because both teams haven't won yet, and everyone's been slagging off Man United left, right, and centre, and they've basically relegation, blah blah blah. Ten Hag's going to leave. However, they win on Monday night, and I believe, and you know what, I've got one of them funny feelings that they'll beat Liverpool and they go above Liverpool. So it's going to shut Liverpool fans up, because then they'll have no wins in 3, 2 draws, and United will have that 1 win, even though they've been getting hammered for the last couple of weeks. So it's an interesting one. Right. Our form guide against the team. Well, not our form guide, but the last 5 matches against Wolverhampton Wanderers and Spurs' last 5 games. So we, being the home team, we've drawn against Chelsea 2-2. We beat Southampton 4-1. And then end of last season, we beat Norwich 5-0 away, Burnley 1-0 at home, 3-0 at Arsenal. And I was watching the All or Nothing today, and boy, did they just cover over all that. What happened to the COVID match cancellation and all? They very quickly brisked over it, didn't they? But it is what it is, unfortunately. Right, Wolves, last 5 games, they lost to Man City, they drew with Norwich, they lost to Liverpool, and this season so far they've lost to Leeds away and they drew with Fulham at home. So Darius, going in, looking at the form for the last 5 games, we've won 4, drawn 1, they've lost 3, drawn 2. Does this come into the equation at all going into Saturday?
I think it does. When you look at the two teams, I believe it's quite similar. If you actually look at where the strengths of both teams are and where the most threat and talent is in both teams, it's the midfield and the attack. And I think the same is said for Wolverhampton. You look at their midfield with the addition of now Matheus Nunes. You have Moutinho, who may come back this weekend. I'm not sure if he's back this weekend or not. You've got Moutinho, you've got Neves, you've got Podence in that middle as well. There's a lot of talent in the middle. Then you look at their forward line. Jimenez is out, so I don't think we'll see Jimenez, but they do have the likes of Pedro Neto on one side, who I think is an absolutely phenomenal talent, and I do believe they're going to threaten us. So it's basically us taking our chances and being clinical, and we have been recently. So I'm kind of confident that we will win this game. However, I will not be surprised if we concede 1, even 2 goals this game, just because the threat of the likes of Neto and his dribbling ability against potentially it could be Sessegnon, it might be Perisic who starts this game. It may prove a bit of a challenge for some players, and obviously with Romero being out as well, it automatically puts our defense at a disadvantage, in my opinion. It's not to say that Sanchez is awful, but he's nowhere near as good as Romero, and there is a mistake in him always. So I think it's going to be a battle of midfield and attacks, and hopefully our attack can be clinical and we create enough chances to get the goal. We're at home, so I think we should use the crowd to really get us going and finish the game early. I think three goals in the first half is what I want to see now. Us being able to, not go down a goal and have to really pump ourselves up to get a goal in 2 and 3. I want us to be the first team to score, get a second, potentially get a third, and finish it in the first half. So you then can at least expend less energy, save it for the other games that are going to come midweek. So yeah, I'm confident. I am confident about this game.
Sean, was you at the game last season at home when we played them?
No, I wasn't. I was watching it on TV. This is a curious fixture, isn't it? If you think about it, since they've been promoted, they've won all the games at our place and we've won all the games at their place. It is a really, really strange fixture. I mean, particularly I remember the one where Vertonghen scored that last-minute winner.
Yeah.
Off he'd had a torrid time with Traore all game. And
I think all the players were like basically saying, "Oh my gosh, how scary he was," weren't they?
Yeah. But I mean, it's a really strange fixture. I was at Molineux when we beat them. I think it was 3-2 in the end. Lamela scored and Son scored. I remember that. But I think it was Moussa Dembele's last game for us. I think he pulled up in the first half with an ankle thing, and he never came back to us. So yeah, it's a curious fixture that there's this strange the away team winning in each one since they've been promoted. So I think it's I mean, Wolves are great. Have always been a good footballing side since they've come up, and but they do appear to be a much changed team this season, and they, Bruno Lage, the team started slowly last year, and it looks like they're repeating it this year. So let's hope that they don't kind of pick up their game on Saturday at lunchtime.
Yeah, the other thing as well is what I'm looking at, which I think is quite intriguing, is their last 2 away games they've lost. Our last 3 home games we've won. So common sense and logic says we're going to win because they're not very good at traveling and we're quite good at home. So it'll be an interesting one. But like you said, Sean, I was there at that Wolves game at home last season, and it was a tricky game, and they always do a job on us. They frustrate us, and they did last season again in the middle as well. They proper nullified us, and
we gifted them goals as well, didn't we? I mean,
exactly.
That was a nightmare for Lloris that night, if I remember rightly.
Yeah. So, season comparison: we're 4th, they're 14th. We've won 1, they've won none. We've drawn 1, they've drawn 1. They've lost 1, we haven't. Average goal scored per match, we've scored 3. Theirs is 0.5. Average goals conceded 1.5, as they've conceded 1. Interesting. Clean sheets, we've kept none, they've kept 1. Chances created per match, 2.5, as opposed to their 1.5. Looking at them stats, Sean, do they mean anything going into the game? Or I mean, the goal scored is good. We've scored 3 as compared to theirs 0.5. So going into that game, I can see a high scoring game for us, not them.
I mean, it's like Darius laid out earlier on. He said that it's really a game of midfield and attack against against each other. Although surprisingly, there's you've thrown a ringer in there with the fact that they've actually had a clean sheet, but it was against Fulham, and Fulham missed a penalty. So it's a clean sheet, isn't it? Yeah. But it's the loss of Cody, and they've gone to a back 4, I believe. Yeah. Maybe why they're having teething problems, and that's probably why it's a good time to get them if they're still struggling with that back 4. And we've got a kind of settled formation, but of course they'll learn things. They'll have seen what Chelsea did to us last Sunday, and they may well pack the midfield. They may go to a 3-5-2 or a 4-5-1, and then we've got issues. So let's I mean, the stats are in our favour, and we're in a decent run of form, and they should carry some confidence from the fact that Chelsea, in spite of all their superiority, weren't able to take the 3 points last Sunday. So, yeah, I'm quietly confident about the game. Obviously, with the injury news, that was a bit disappointing yesterday. But
we'll talk about that.
We'll talk about that later. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Darius, question for you. Chances created, we've only created 2.5. Are you surprised with the firepower we've got and the players we've got in them positions that we've only created 2.5 per match?
No, because I'm actually sort of okay with the amount of output that we, the attacking players have delivered. We had more shots on target than Chelsea in the last game. We had a hefty amount of shots against Southampton as well. So really and truly, I think we can almost afford to have less chances created with the forwards that we've got, because they are so clinical, all three of them, to be fair. So I'm not too concerned. If the goals start to dry up, then I think I will be more concerned. But while the players seem to be performing quite high, they seem to be finishing their chances. I know Kane missed that chance on the weekend, but he got his goal in the end. I think it's going to be another one of those where Son will probably... I don't know if Wolves are going to... I think Wolves are going to switch up. I do think they're going to go back to a 3 for this game and try and go like for like. Just because playing a 4 with Nathan Collins, I think that's his name, their new centre-back, at that Tottenham Hotspur Stadium against Kane, Son and Kulusevski is a bit of a recipe for a disaster for me. So I think they're going to try and, go like for like, maybe 3-5-2, 3-4-3. I think we just need to make sure that we're clinical and we take our chances early. And I am not too concerned about that. Maybe looks low, but I think, again, we have the quality of players to allow us to have maybe a little bit less chance creation in the team.
Cool. So let's have a look at the head-to-head recent meetings. 1st of March 2020, Wolves, Spurs 2, Wolves 3. December 2021, Wolves 1, Spurs 1. 16th of May 2021, Spurs 2, Wolves 0. 22nd of August 2021, Wolves 0, Spurs 1. And then at our stadium, Spurs 0, Wolves 2. So looking at that, we've got a loss, a win, a draw, and a loss. So we've got 2 wins, 2 losses, and a draw. At home last season, like you said, they beat us 2-0, and we beat them at their ground. Going into this season now, obviously everyone's saying that we're potential title contenders with Man City and Liverpool. I'll ask you this one, Darius. Is this now the kind of game we can't afford to lose? Already going in so early into the season?
It's a good question. I think obviously we can't afford to lose this game. But I think these are the sort of games that I expect us to not really have to expend all of the energy for. I think we need to be able to at least let some players who are on the bench at the moment, who may become starters, play a little bit and have a little bit of trust in them. I know that, Leeds look okay. They gave Wolves a good game. But again, they couldn't hold the lead against Leeds. That's a hard thing to say. So I don't really expect them, if we score a few or if they go ahead in the game, for them to stay 1-0 up. So my confidence with Spurs now is that we always look like we're going to score against any team, potentially the best defensive team in the league, or one of them in Chelsea. I know they played differently against us. We still managed to get 2 goals against them. So I'm confident. I think these are the games, Sid, that you can really look at and think we should be comfortably winning these games, and it shouldn't be, an intense having to give your all for that 90 minutes, because as much as, you want to see that, if you can avoid that, I think that really lessens the chances of injuries and fatigue for the rest of the season. So I think we should be, with all due respect to Wolves, because they are a very good side with very, very good players, I think we should be, comfortably beating these teams, in my opinion. I'm going to say that now, and then I'm going to get clipped up later, but I think we should be comfortably beating these teams now. I know last season it was harder, but this season the mentality is different.
Sean.
Yeah,
let me just pick back on what Darius said. And like he said, you might get clipped up. These are the sort of games we should win comfortably. Last season, we said that against Southampton. We said that against Wolves. We said that against Brighton. We ended up losing them games. So this time round, exactly what Darius said, under Conte, he's got his players in, the beliefs there, the confidence is there, the passion's there. Do you see us comfortably winning this time without any flaws?
Yeah, I mean, I'm confident. I mean, I've kind of set a benchmark for the first 6 games that we need to be on 14 points once we play Leicester, I think it is, and this is one that I would have us down for 3 points, definitely. Certainly, home games we should be winning. And as I say, I think we're playing Wolves at an opportune moment. It's always good to get teams who are trying out new things early in the season. I mean, if we'd got Chelsea on the opening day of the season, we might well have won last week. But they obviously raised their game last Sunday, and every Chelsea fan I've ever spoken to has said that was the best they played this season. So it just goes to show that early season is very difficult to tell form. We're still getting into patterns. New players are bedding in with their new teammates. But I think we've got quality on the bench. We can change things. I'm sure we'll win this game. I'm more than confident that we're going to win this game.
See, for me, last season we said exactly the same, but this season now under Conte, with what he's done, we now need to go into these games and we have to win these games, because if we are, as they say, and I'm going to quote one of our Paxton Road guys, if we're going to win the league, then these are the games where we can't drop points. These are the games where we win, and we win comfortably, and we tell these teams, last season you came to us, you gave us a bit of a game, this time round, we ain't going to let you down. We're going to suffocate you from the beginning, and the crowd is going to play a massive part now because the fans are behind. 12:30 on a Saturday, I think we need to tell the players, well, not tell, but show our support to the players, get them all geared up and win this game comfortably, to put that baton down to everyone else below us to say, you know what, we're here, we're knocking on the door, be aware of us, be afraid, because Tottenham under Conte are at it. Going into the head-to-head, 16 games, we've won 8, they've won 5. We've won 3 at home, we've won 5 away, they've won 1 at home and 4 away. So what, like you were saying, Sean, they've done quite well away, and we've done quite well away as well, actually. But we've won 3 at home and they've won 1 at home. So stats are saying here now it's going to be a tough game because they tend to do well against us. And we've already discussed this, and we're quite confident that Saturday's game is going to be a home win. Looking at that, do you still agree, pair of you?
Yeah, I think I want us to treat our stadium like, Anfield is treated. I want us to make that stadium a scary place to go to. And I think we're on a good way to doing it. And I think Conte wants that to happen as well. Because if Conte can guarantee that he doesn't drop points at home, that puts you in a really, really good position to do well in the league, because that guarantees you. I mean, my maths isn't great, but I think that's 57 points if you win all your games at home. And I know that's a hard thing to do. But if you are a big club and you are a serious club, no team should be really taking that many points off you, if any, off you at home. So I think making sure that we keep that home form, really, really good is a really, really good step. And it's a good sign for me to show myself that I think we are going to turn a corner this season, but it is, still in the air, and we still need to see it in fruition and see it happen. So I'm excited, and I think it does show that we are slowly becoming a much more formidable team. But again, this is you can say that, but you need to show it. So we'll wait until the weekend, hopefully. And it'll show us.
Sean?
Yeah, the other thing, I mean, the other thing is, of course, is we've got this World Cup midway through the season, and you really need to get as many points before the break as you can. So, I mean, I hope that's being, I imagine it is being put into their heads. This is a game, like last week was the classic Conte, wasn't it? If you can't win the game, don't lose it. So this is a mentality I'm thinking that's spreading through the team. Certainly, Pierre-Emile Højbjerg said in his post-match, it was about resilience last week, and I think that speaks volumes about the kind of band of brothers that the team seems to be at the moment.
Cool. Right, just before we move on to the final two sections, as Sam Spurs for Life is saying, everyone please smash a like for the stream. Chris Ball, and let's have a look for you. Craig Bowler saying, how can you bed in 16 players at one goal? So I think he's referring to Nottingham Forest here.
Definitely.
Let's have a look. Let's go. Okay, Sam Spurs for Life is saying Wolves are missing a goal scorer. They are. Yeah.
Is the Korean player not available now?
Hwang's still playing.
Is he?
Yeah. Sammy's saying they have struggled to score for a while. They have, yeah. Good Beats International. Good evening. He's saying for me, lineup, no need to change. I think it will change. I disagree as well. I think it needs to change, and I think Sam Spurs for Life underneath is saying Perisic will start to add the experience. We'll talk about the lineup right at the end because I think we all probably have got something to say about the lineup. Craig Bowler saying an interesting fact here. Our stats are better when Romero doesn't play than when he does, surprisingly.
Yeah, I saw that on Twitter earlier today that, we've picked up as many, well, I don't know necessarily very much better, but we haven't lost as many games when he's not been available. So it's a bit of a myth, I suppose, that Romero, we need Romero to win,
Yeah.
You think about it, our biggest game last season was Arsenal, and he was, we all turned up to the game and were told Romero was not available. And we all were like thinking, oh my God, but apart from 10 minutes at the beginning, we absolutely battered Arsenal. So
this is it. Good BT saying, think the crowd have a big part to play in this early morning kickoff as they need to shout.
Definitely.
I think the crowd has a big part to play in every single home game, regardless of what time the game kicks off. Sam Spurs for Life, Sanchez on right is better than left, but boy, I hear you. I think we're all the same in that one. They will struggle with a back four with our front three if we can get both wing backs further forward to create overloads. John, good evening. UG, Wolves is a team to tell our level. I don't think they are. I think they're pressing game, and if they come to Tottenham Hotspur Stadium like they did last season, where they came to sort of nullifiers and frustrators, which they did, I think this time round Conte will have got his boys geared up, and I don't think it's going to be a repeat of last season.
I think John's saying there is that if we brush them aside, that we're certainly at the top end of the table rather than sort of in the Europa League sort of positions. You know what I mean? So I think he's well, that's my interpretation of it there. I just think he's saying that it's a team that we need to brush aside, and I'm certainly hopeful of that on Saturday at lunchtime.
Some saying here we should be looking to control possession in this game. If they play four at the back, it will be an attacking game. Darius?
I agree. I think four at the back is a bit of a dead disaster waiting to happen for Wolves, just because of the formation matchup between 3-4-3 and 4. Oh, I don't even know what they'll play, 4-3-3 maybe. So doesn't look very good for Wolves if they play four at the back, in my opinion.
Yeah. Right. So before I put my ones up, players to watch. Have you got any players in particular that you're going to keep a key interest in or an eye on this weekend?
Tottenham or Wolves?
Both. Let's start with Tottenham. Both of you. Just one player that you're looking forward to that's going to, player to watch.
Perisic for me.
Perisic for you. And Shawnee?
I always love watching Bentancur. He's just such a Rolls Royce of a player. But I'm hoping that we do see some new faces. I wonder whether this is a game for Doherty to come back and play. But yeah, I don't think Royal's done too badly. But I think
Right. And Wolves, one from Wolves.
Oh, Pedro Neto.
Neto for you, yeah. You're always raving about him, aren't you? So
I love him so much. I hope he doesn't go to Arsenal. That's all I say.
Yeah, Shawnee.
I always enjoy watching Moutinho. I mean, I know he's a fair age now, but he's such a quality player.
He may not make it. I mean, I'm looking now at their injury list. It says he could be back for the 20th.
Oh.
So
that's Saturday, yeah.
He may just make it, but
on the bench.
Be interesting. Do you think they'll start Nunes?
Well, we'll come to that in 1 second. Some saying Kane and Podence.
Yeah, and good shout.
Yeah, my ones, I've gone for. You might be shocked a little bit, but I've gone for Richarlison.
Ooh.
And Nunes. Richarlison, because for me, he made a massive, massive impact when he came on at the Chelsea game with 20 minutes ago. We needed someone to come on, take the game by the scruff of the neck, and he exactly done that. Chelsea was sort of tiring after 70 minutes, and to bring on a player who's full of shithousery, holds the ball, runs like a menace, constantly puts pressure on their players. I'd love to see him start because we've already discussed this. I think Kulusevski and Son had off days on Saturday, so it'll be interesting to see. And if anyone starts, I'd love him to see. And for Wolves, Matheus Nunes, because I've heard so much about him. He's supposed to be one of the most talented youngsters at the moment. I asked my young lads as well, and they were raving about him. They were saying a few clubs were after him. Liverpool were after him. Apparently, Man United waiting for him, and a couple of European clubs, including Juventus, I think. And he's got a big lot of people behind him to say, you know what, this kid is supposed to be top notch. So I don't know whether he'll do it in his first game against Spurs, but they're my two players to watch.
Like that. Richarlison's a good shout. I think Richarlison, people really didn't like his performance because he didn't score, or he wasn't, doing what Gabby Jesus does. But I thought Richarlison did exactly what Richarlison does. He's a pure chaos agent, and that's exactly what he did. He caused chaos. So if he does that again, I'll be happy.
100%. Right. One last section before I ask you both for your score predictions. We've already got a few people saying, so Sam saying Doherty might start or wing back. Because our wing backs do need to be rotated. Good evening, Paul Mansbridge. Saying Perisic will start 100%.
So it's still not 100%.
Yeah, I know. Or still not 100%. Sorry, still not 100%. Yeah. So whether he starts or not, I don't know.
Hopefully.
Craig Bowler saying, I'm wondering who would play better as right wing back with Sanchez coming in.
A good point. That is a good point, Craig. Yeah, I think I've seen some pretty, shoddy Sanchez Royale performances together. They don't. Although having said that, they did play against Arsenal very well. So, I would hope. I would hope that Doherty or would get a chance, and maybe I'd like to see Spence get 20 minutes later on.
Oh, yeah.
Craig's saying I'd be tempted to throw Spence in there and tell him to go all out and attack them and leave Sanchez to stay back and cover the flank.
It's a good call. Good call.
Because if Spence is gonna have to start at some point, right?
I don't think he's gonna get a lot of game time this season.
No, I've said that. I've said Doherty is going to be the main man, but at the moment it seems Royals is the main man. So I agree with you, Darius. I think Spence will probably get the cup games, and if any injuries occur, he might start. But I'm 100% with you there. Yeah, I think Spence won't start a lot of games. I think he'll just be there on the bench to learn.
I think it will take, like you said, Sid, an injury crisis. Or, he comes in for a game, he has an absolute blinder, and then Conte can't drop him. Yeah. And I think that's what's going to cause Spence to get into the team. I don't think it's going to be a case of, I'm going to choose you because, I want you to start, or you're tactically what I need. I think it's going to be a case of you're going to force your way into, you're going to force me to make a decision. And I think that's what Conte wants from most players, to be fair. I think he wants them to force him to make a decision. He doesn't want to be like, okay, every single week is going to be the same front three, or every single week is going to be the same team. He wants you to say, I'm working this hard in training that you're going to have to consider potentially Son not playing. I think that's what he wants, and it will cause Son to get hungrier, and it will cause the players who are competing with Son to be hungry. So I'm not mad. I'm not mad at it at all. I think Spencer's got the mentality to want to do that as well. So yeah, I think he'll get his time, but I think people should be a little bit patient. I don't think it's going to be anytime soon.
Yeah, I agree. Right, it's that time of the show. We're winding up now, winding down, winding up, however you want to call it. It is the score prediction time. Obviously, we've got the main man on this side who predicts the right scores, and he knows the score. So I'm going to come to you later. Sean, prediction, please, for Saturday at 12:30.
I think we'll win 2-0.
2-0. Yeah.
And the goals will be Son.
Oh, we do goal scorers now. Oh my gosh.
Son 2.
Son 2.
Son 2.
Yeah.
Right.
He likes to goal against Wolverhampton. I've seen quite a few of them.
Yeah. Yeah. Darius.
Right. As you know, I think I'm gonna quote the same famous Paxton Road member that you're gonna quote and say this is not financial advice. This is this is facts. And as much as Craig has mentioned, and I'm happy that and I'm kind of interested that Craig brought that up about us sort of performing well or performing better without Romero. I still do think that we're going to concede. I don't think we're going to keep as many clean sheets as we really want to, and the defense is the main issue for me, especially now Romero being out for could be, let's say, 10 to 18, 10 to 20 days, conflicting reports, whatever it is. I think we need to get a defender in, regardless of if he was injured or not, because we're going to leak in little goals. I think it will be 3-1 to Tottenham, same as Southampton. They're going to take the lead again, and we'll come and we'll blitz them because we'll be like, whoa, you're not beating us, and we'll score 3 in the first half, and then I don't think we'll score any more goals in the second half. And if you really want goal scorers, Sid,
you get extra points.
Yeah, you do get extra points.
You're giving me extra points, and I'll throw it in there. Kulusevski, Kane, and Sanchez from a corner.
Ooh, lovely. Right, that's good. I'll give you mine in a second. Let's look. See, I actually write these down, unlike some person who I'm going to go to next, who asks me for the score prediction, and then I tell him the score prediction.
I hope he's writing them down now.
I am, and I hope he's writing them down as well. Yeah,
he's got the Excel sheet after all.
That's right, and he's put Sam's Spurs for Life has put 2-0 to Spurs, Kane ×2, and then underneath the cheek of it, write it down, Sid.
Oh,
it's the pot calling the kettle black.
Exactly what only you could say that.
Yeah,
cheeky.
Cheeky.
Yeah. So Sam, I'm gonna write it down for you. Yeah, and we've got it on clip anyway, so that's fine. So 2-0, Kane to score 2. My prediction, I was gonna go with exactly what you said, Darius. I can't see us not conceding because we've got a tendency to concede. However, with their injury crisis and the fact that now we've gotten Conte got them steamrolled, I was going to go with you exactly the same, 3-0, 3-1. However, I'm going to change mine and I'm going to put 3-0.
Ooh.
I'm quite convinced it's going to be a convincing score, 3-0. However, this will shock you now. I don't think Son's going to score, and I don't think Son's going to start. I'm going to go with Kulu to score, Kane to score, and a debut goal, which is going to send the fans in meltdown, both at Tottenham Stadium and across the road. Richarlison to get his first for Spurs.
Oh, I you know what? If Richarlison scored 0 goals this season, scored 1 in the North London derby,
that's it.
That'd be a successful season for me.
Legend.
That'd be a successful season. I wouldn't care what happened.
Yeah.
You'd be, you're a legend. So I hope he scores as well. He's gonna slowly become my favorite player. Just because I want him to do well because everybody wants him to do so badly.
This is it. And I think because of the impact that he had on Saturday, I think I personally think he deserves to start. And it's Wolves, so why not bring him in? Because if we're going off some of these comments here, let's have a look. Okay, so Dino saying, I think Conte will show faith with same lineup demanding improvements, but we will see proactive subs on earlier. I don't think. I think he'll make changes, maybe one or two. Let's have a look. What else? Paul Manbridge is saying 3-1 to Spurs. Kane hat-trick.
Ooh. Is he going to start in August? Oh my gosh.
I know. Craig Bowler is saying, what about Richarlison for Son? Son seems really off it. I don't know if the Korean trip took it out of him emotionally. It was a massive event for him. He may just need a rest. That's why I'm saying I can see Richarlison replacing him for him to get a rest, because it's Wolves. I know it's not only Wolves, but it's Wolves. We should be taking the 3 points. Juice Nuts is saying 2-0, Perry Baby and Højbjerg. Henry Sergo is saying 2-1 Spurs, another injury time winner from Perisic. Craig Bowler saying 3-0 to Spurs. And
who's your scorers, Craig? Who's your scorers?
Not said. And Davinson, the defender, saying Richie will score 10 to 15 goals. So there you go.
That'll be successful for me. That'll be amazing.
Absolutely. But very confident. Everyone in the comment section is confident about a Spurs win. I think a lot of people are saying Perisic to score as well. So that will be an interesting one, whether he starts or not. Final thought on the Romero injury. I mean, we've sort of said it, but do you think it'll only be like 10 days, or is it what other people are saying, 15 days? Some are saying 2 months, which is all rubbish. I think he'll be ready for the Forest game. That's my personal opinion. Darius?
Is that after this game?
Yes. Yeah.
I think he'll be ready for the Fulham game.
And
I don't think he will. Who have we got after Fulham?
We've got
Leicester, I think.
Leicester, haven't we?
Yeah, no, I don't think there's any massive games coming up. So no. I don't think, if he's not 100%, I don't think Conte is going to risk him.
After Fulham, we've got a certain City, yeah.
Yeah, that's that. So in my opinion, if he's 100%, he'll play Fulham. If he's not 100%, there's no way he's playing Fulham. They'll just keep him ready for City.
Yeah.
So I don't think we're going to see him until City. No.
When's the Champions League game start? I know the draw's next week.
9th of September?
It could be, yeah. So that could be the week.
Maybe, let me search it for you, Sean. I believe it might be the 9th of September.
9th of Friday, so it probably would be the...
Oh, it might be that week then.
6th or 7th.
Yeah.
6th or 7th. But whilst Darius is looking at that, just like to thank everyone that's joined us tonight. I'm deputising, obviously, for Sam Spurs for Life, because he couldn't make it. Thank you all for all your comments. Thank you for your score predictions. If you haven't already liked it or followed us, please smash that like button, because every like button helps, and a follow always helps. Subscribe to our channel as well, because there's loads and loads of content coming across here.
67th of September. Sorry? So it is that week. The 6th and 7th of September.
Yeah, 6th or 7th of September.
So it is that week, yeah.
There you go. So that we've got Fulham, then Champions League, then Man City.
Draw. Ooh, that draw is going to be exciting.
Absolutely.
Next Thursday at 5 o'clock, I think, is the draw.
Yeah.
Taking place in Istanbul, where the final will be. So
it'll be interesting. Right. Any final thoughts before we say arrivederci, Sean?
I'm not worried about Romero missing for tomorrow, for Saturday, sorry. He will be back when he'll be back. You know, from his own camp, they seem to suggest that it's 10 days. So I'm prepared to take that. Even today in the press conference, Conte said that it was a slight abductor thing. He just wasn't going to risk him on Saturday, but I'm sure through the week we'll get more information. So yeah, I'm confident. Doesn't matter. Come in, Big Dave. We're gonna, do your usual good job. Remember Arsenal game, and then just take the 3 points.
Cool. Darius, final thoughts? Your mic's playing up again, by the way.
Is it? Yeah. Oh God! Is it actually? Is it?
Yeah.
It's still bad.
Cracking
just
up.
End the show.
Okay.
End the
cool.
show. End the show.
All right. That's all right. Right. It's been an absolute pleasure. Just a quick reminder: we've got a few more shows coming up. We've got the reaction show to the Wolves Spurs game. We've got Jodi's Judge Jodi's ratings. Sid says tomorrow evening we've got all the latest transfer updates. I know a few of you might already be aware, but there's a few interesting ones, so I'll cover that tomorrow. On that note, it's been an absolute pleasure. Thank you for joining Paxton Road TV and the preview show. Have a great evening, guys, and 3 points. Come on, you Spurs, on Saturday.
Come on.